Hey everyone! If you're trying to get into real estate photography, you know the struggle. Hiring a pro is expensive, but using your phone just doesn't capture the scale of a room properly. I've spent the last few weeks testing 5 different cameras that won't break the bank to see which ones actually make a listing pop. Product number 1. 8K UHD 88 megapixel autofocus camera. When I first unboxed this one, the dual lens setup really caught my eye. It's got a lens on the front and the back, which I found super handy for those behind-the-scenes clips while I was walking through a property. The 8K resolution sounds like overkill, but when I was cropping into photos of kitchen backsplashes, the detail stayed surprisingly sharp. I played around with the 360-degree rotary dial, and it made switching from landscape mode for the backyard to portrait for the narrow hallways a breeze. The 3.2-inch touchscreen is responsive, though I mostly used it to double-check my focus. It comes with 2 batteries, which saved me when I realized I'd left the first one charging at home. If you want something that handles high-res photos and vlogging equally well, this is a solid pick for starting your real estate social media.
Product number 2. 5K 48 megapixel Wi-Fi vlogging camera. The first thing I noticed here was the 3.5-inch screen. It's slightly larger than most, and I loved that I could hide all the icons on the display. It sounds small, but when you're trying to line up a shot of a living room, not having symbols blocking the corners is a huge help for composition. I tested the UV filter it comes with while shooting a deck in bright sunlight, and it definitely cut down on the haze. The Wi-Fi transfer is a bit picky. It only likes files under 2K, so I ended up just popping the SD card into my laptop for the high-res 5K stuff. The 6-axis stabilization was the real star here. My handheld walking shots through the master bedroom looked way smoother than I expected. This is the one to get if you prefer a cleaner view while you're shooting.
Product number 3. Kasukani 4K 56 megapixel flip screen camera. This is probably the most pocketable camera of the bunch. It's incredibly lightweight, which is great if you're running between multiple listings in one afternoon. The 180-degree flip screen is the big selling point here. I used it to frame shots from low angles, like getting that perfect floor-to-ceiling look, without having to crouch down on my hands and knees. While it's 4K rather than 8K, the 56-megapixel stills were plenty clear for Zillow or social media posts. The autofocus is pretty snappy for a point-and-shoot, though I'd recommend using the built-in flash for darker bathrooms or basements where the light is tricky. It's very intuitive, so if you're someone who hates digging through complicated menus, you'll appreciate how simple this is to just pick up and start shooting right away.
Product number 4. 5K 80MP 4.0 touchscreen camera. The 4-inch screen on this thing is massive. It felt more like using a smartphone than a traditional camera. What really surprised me during my tests was the one-touch macro button. I used it to get some really crisp, detailed shots of high-end finishes, like granite countertops and custom door handles, which really adds a premium feel to a listing. It's an 80MP sensor, but keep in mind this is geared more toward beginners than pros. The 18x zoom is fun to play with, but for real estate, you'll mostly be sticking to the wider angles. It's got a beefy 3000 milliamp battery, so I didn't even have to swap it out once during a full day of testing. If you struggle with tiny buttons and want a big, bright screen to see what you're doing, this is the winner. Product number 5. MB Digital 5K 64MP wide-angle bundle. This package felt the most complete for a real estate setup because it actually includes a 52mm wide-angle lens. When I slapped that on, I could finally fit an entire small bedroom into the frame without standing in the closet. That alone makes it a serious contender for property photos. I also appreciated the external charging dock. I could charge one battery while using the other, which is a lifesaver for long shoots. The 5K video at 25 FPS looks very cinematic, and the built-in fill light helped me brighten up some dark corners in a basement I was testing. It even comes with a shoulder strap and a bag, so you're ready to hit the road immediately. If you need that wide-angle perspective right out of the box without buying extra gear, go with this one. Outro. That's the breakdown. It really comes down to whether you want that wide-angle lens or a bigger screen to help you frame the shot. Make sure to check the links in the description for the latest prices. Which one are you leaning toward? Let me know.